Good morning, physicians, and hello, section Andrew. Welcome to the Miss CCSA 2022. Today, we will witness the most beautiful and eloquent lady in section Andrew. I am your host, Ralph Zorin Caracas, and these are the objectives of this event. To discuss probabilities and the normal distribution and its properties. To explain probabilities and the normal curve, the discrete probability functions, and continuous probability distribution. And lastly, to describe the methods of linear regression and correlation. This is the flowchart of this event. Data management is an activity that is done by the researchers to collect, arrange, and describe generated data. In statistics, we use normal distribution, which is also called the normal curve. The normal distribution is a probability distribution which depicts the possible outcomes of possible values for a given data. It is symmetric, unimodal, and asymptotic. Meanwhile, the linear regression expresses the relationship in the form of equation, and correlation quantifies the strength of the linear relationship between a pair of variables. Now please help me welcome the 5 aspiring candidates.
My name is Gina Rose Cagas, 19 years old, representing Island Garden City of Samal.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning! My name is Eileen Jane Impuerto Cabasag, 18 years old, representing the place behind the mountains, Saloy, Calinan, Davao City.
Nikki Camarillo, 19 years old, representing Marilog District.
Good day everyone, I am Lovely Rose Bentad, 20 years old, from Tamugan, Davao City.
So good day everyone, my name is Manilyn Ansayang Lingkitan, 22 from Country Homes, Cabanti and Davao City.
So now we will be having our question and answer portion. The candidates will be given topics to answer with the category of data management. Let us start with candidate number 1. Candidate number 1, your topic is probabilities and the normal distribution.
As far as I know, standard normal distribution is a normal random variable. The mean becomes 0 and standard deviation becomes 1. For example, finding a z-score, you collect exam scores from students with a mean of 1,150 with a standard deviation of 150. You want to find the probability that exam scores in your sample exceed 1,380. Normal distribution occurs naturally, like fair rolling of dice and tossing a coin. And I thank you.
Thank you, candidate number 1. Candidate number 2, you are next, and your topic is probability and the normal curve.
Thank you for that wonderful question. Once again, good morning everyone. As we all know, normal distribution is the proper term for a probability bell curve. Just try to imagine the figure of a bell curve. The shaded area indicates the total of two values found in the normal table, or it is what indicates the probability that x is less than a equals the area under the normal curve bounded by a minus infinity. While the unshaded part is just like the statement I've said, but less than is replaced by greater than and minus is replaced by plus. Also, it follows rules called the empirical rule, or a shorthand used to remember the percentage of values that lie within an interval estimate in a normal distribution, which are 68%, 95%, 99.7% of the values lie within 1, 2, 3 standard deviation of the mean, respectively. That's all, and I thank you.
Let us welcome candidate number 3. Your topic is probability functions and distributions.
Thank you for that wonderful question, sir. Discrete probability function gives the probability that a discrete random variable will be exactly equal to a specific value. Example, let x be the random variable that shows how many heads are obtained. X can take on the value 0, 1, and 2. The probability that x will be equal to 1 is 0.5. Thus, it can be said that the probability mass function of x evaluated at 1 will be 0.5. A continuous probability contributions, it's a probability distribution in which random variable x can take on any value and it's continuous. For example, the length of time it takes a truck driver to go from New York City to Miami, and the length of drilling to find oil. And I thank you.
Thank you, candidate number 3. Candidate number 4, you are next, and your topic is correlation.
Thank you, Mr. Caracas, for your question. Correlation is a measure of relationships involving variables such as linear, nonlinear, and others. Also, variables can have differing quantities of correlation to each other. Correlation is positive when the values increase together, and correlation is negative when the value decreases. A correlation is assumed to be linear. Correlations can have value. 1 is a perfect positive correlation. 0 is no correlation, means the values don't seem linked at all. Negative 1 is a perfect negative correlation. For example, the ice cream sales. The local ice cream shop keeps track of how much ice cream they sell versus the temperature on that day. Here are the figures for the last 12 days. And here is the same data as a scattered plot. In fact, the correlation is 0.9575, and you can see it in the screen how I calculated it. That's all, and I thank you.
Thank you, candidate number 4. We are now down to our last candidate. Your topic is linear regression.
So, again, thank you, Mr. Caracas, for your question. So, what I can say to linear regression is that linear regression is used to model the relationship between two continuous variables, and it also used to predict the value of a variable based on the value of another variable. If you want to predict a variable, then that's what we call dependent variable. Then if you want to use another variable's value, then that's what we call independent variables. Just like an example. So, we can say that the age and height can be described using the linear regression model. Since a person's height and age increase, they have a linear relationship. So, regression models are also commonly as a statistical proof of a claims regarding everyday lives. And I thank you.
Thank you, candidate number 5. The judges have tallied their scores and the result is in my hands. The 4th runner-up is candidate number 5. The 3rd runner-up is a candidate from Tamugan, Davao City, candidate number 4. And our 2nd runner-up is candidate number 1. The candidate I will be calling will be our Miss CCSA 2022. And the name that I will not call will be the 1st runner-up. Miss CCSA 2022 is candidate number 2, Miss Kabasag from Saloy, Kalinan, Davao City. And our 1st runner-up is candidate number 3. Congratulations to our ladies.